Hi everyone, woohoo! FloraSage here, and you are in our fabulous and infamous Lunch and Learns. Today's topic is space clearing. So I want to welcome all of you. Go ahead and in the chat box, post what your name is and where you are tuning in from. We have a ton of people registered for this class, so it'll be very interesting to see where you're all coming from. We'll let you all pile in, and we'll wait for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then we'll get started because we only have 30 minutes together, and I've got so much that I could share with you about space clearing. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite things. Space clearing is the thing that I've been literally remember. I'll just kind of get into it a little bit as we're waiting for people to come in before I start the content, kind of a little backstory, a little history about space clearing and myself. So when I was younger, I would go into a room, or Philly or whatever, I just made it feel better. And I didn't really know how I did it, but I just knew I wanted it to feel better. And I concentrated and focused on what I wanted it to feel like, and then it changed, it shifted, and I felt that shift. And so it wasn't until years later, like years and years later, almost 20 years later, when I first recognized that I was doing this, I actually stumbled upon a book, and I'm like entering, and I started to read the book, and I'm like, oh my God. So I was finally able to put a name with the thing that I was doing all these years. So that was really exciting. And then a lot of people were saying, gosh, you know, your house always feels so really good. And also, and I said, well, I can teach you how to do it. And so I started to teach people how to do space clearing. And then I just kind of took off from there. So that's why I'm super pumped and really excited to share with you today all this stuff that I have. See who we have here. Go ahead and post in from. We have Tina from Marshall, Texas. Hello, Alice. Yay! All right, so let me see who else we have. We've got Jack, we've got Nanny, we've got Lori, we've got Christine. How exciting. Let me see. We have Michelle from Minnesota, Nanny bonjour from Montreal. Nice. I want to learn from the priority, but yes. So I just did my DNA, and my DNA came back as like 75% French. So exactly what my mom said, but still, you never know. All right. So it's 3 past the hour. So we have a bunch of people on, a lot of people still coming through. So let's get started, shall we? So again, welcome to our Lunch and Learn. Today's topic is space clearing, and it's so exciting. All right, so before we actually start the content, I want to call in sacred for all of us, just because I love to. All right, so close your eyes and take a deep belly breath in, allowing your belly to rise and chest to rise, and exhale slowly out your mouth, allowing your chest to fall and your belly to sink in. Take another deep belly breath in and hold it, and exhale. Take one last breath in as we call in all of our guides and guardians to be with us in this sacred space today. And as you exhale, open your eyes. Good. So good. All right, we have Fabian. Hello, Fabian. Yay. Yay. From San Diego, California, we have Tamara. Hello. Oh my gosh, all these amazing people. All right, so let's get after it. So space clearing. What is space clearing? So space clearing is essentially what you do when you're clearing unwanted energy patterns or energy from a place. science, basic something is solid, that we can see this wall because it's moving at a slower vibrational frequency. But if you look at this wall or anything that we can actually physically see under a high-powered microscope, what you'll see is mostly blank space, mostly just, well, blank space. And the reason why that we can see these things is because they're moving at a slower vibrational frequency. But and this wall, there's all this other stuff that we can feel sometimes or sense or know, but we can't see with the naked eye. Some people can see it, but most people in the general population cannot see what's between my camera and this wall. And so when you experience anything in your life, when you experience an event of some sort, typically, because nothing is solid and everything is created of energy and matter, because of that, when we experience an event or when an event happens or whatever, some of that energetic emotion and frequency will stay and linger, if you will, in the place and space or the area in which it was expelled. Okay, so that's why when you go into somebody's house and all of a sudden you say, oh my gosh, the energy just felt really funky there. Or if there's two people having a fight or an argument or something and people walk in and they're like, oh my God, you could cut the energy. Or that if because of the tension, you could feel the energy, you could feel the funk in the room, even though you couldn't necessarily see it. Well, you could probably see it with the people there, but you couldn't necessarily see it with the naked eye, but you could absolutely feel it and know that it was there, and it just kind of exudes and just kind of spills over onto everything. And so when you actually start to recognize, okay, I don't like this funky energy, I really want to clear it. Well, that's it, because all recognizing I want a different energy in this space. So some of the benefits of clearing your energy are that you'll sleep better. You will absolutely sleep better. You're going to have more harmony in this space, not as much tension. It'll be much more relaxing. It'll be much more freeing. It'll be much more open energetically. And, you know, this is one of the things is that based on the energy that you bring in the space when you're space clearing, which we're going to talk about in just a second, that will also determine what's after you clear the space. So essentially, you clear the space of any energy that you don't want. There are some energies that you're like, oh yeah, man, this room feels really good. So you might not even need to space clear a room. You might just say, yeah, I'm just going to leave it because it's nice and I like it and it just feels good to me. But that room, I'm clearing that room because it just feels funky. Regardless or not thoroughly, that you'll start to clear or that you'll end up clearing, it really just depends on what do you really want out of the space? What do you really want out of the room? And if it already feels good, you by absolutely no means need to clear it if it already feels good for you. All right. There's sometimes when people say, well, I space cleared my house, but now it feels empty or it feels very kind of institutional like. And I'm like, okay, well, how did it feel before? Well, it felt really good. I'm like, well, you don't have to clear out the good stuff. Now, to space clear is when you move in or move out of a house, if you can have the opportunity to space clear your house with everything in it before you move, okay, and then pack up everything, and then you have the empty house, and then space clear everything, like all the rooms and everything like that. And if you have a moving van, space clear that as well, or a truck. And then when you move into a place, before you actually bring anything in, if you're able to, this is the most ideal situation, is to space clear the home before in and then space clear again. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but it's so worth it. Another thing is, or you know, perfect time to space clear is after an argument. Because as I mentioned before, when we start to get into an argument with somebody and we're slinging, you know, I was going to say compliments. You don't sling compliments during an argument. You sling accusations, or you just fight and you're pissy with each other and you're like, oh. You both part ways, and that energy gets stuck. It gets stuck in the walls. It gets stuck in the furniture. It gets stuck in the tables. It gets stuck in computer. It gets stuck in everything around it. And simply, okay, basic science, again, that's why it gets stuck in it, because nothing is solid. And a lot of people sometimes have a hard time wrapping their brain around this, that, well, how can an argument get stuck in a countertop? Well, it just does. I mean, it really, truly does. And this is something that I want you all to test. I want you to, when you're working, getting ready to, I want you to specifically not clear a space that you know has a little bit of funky energy in it. Clear everything else but that space. And then be in one of the other spaces that you cleared and you're like, oh yeah, this feels really good and everything. And then go to that one place that you know you didn't clear, that you know has funky energy, and then just notice it and feel it. And then clear it and then notice it and feel it again. And this is one of the things that those naysayers or those people that are skeptics, I believe that an argument can get stuck in a wall, or, grief can get stuck in a bedroom or a chair or wherever. And this process will absolutely prove to you that it does. And when you clear out specifically that argument or the grief or the anger or whatever it is, the sadness, the loneliness, whatever it is that you're feeling, that's penetrating those places, what happens is you start to literally feel it just dissipate and neutralize. And then you start to feel energy. Is really, really exciting. So that brings us to another reason why it's really good to space clear. After a sickness or a death, anytime you travel, oh my goodness, anytime I go into my hotel room, I walk in, I shut the door. In my suitcase, I usually have my bell or my spray. And I go around and I space clear the entire room and my bag. And then I unpack. And simply because there's usually a lot of funky under hotel rooms. Another time to space clear is after family comes to visit. I love my family. I love them dearly, but their energy is their energy and my energy is my energy. So I want my energy in my space only. And so, anytime family comes to visit, I space clear before they come, of course, because it's, it's just, to me, that's just the right thing to do. Kind of like cleaning your house, I also energetically clean. And then after they leave, then I space clear again and neutralize any energy that they may have left in my space. Another thing that business owners can do is they can space clear their office or their computer or anything that they work business or their office building or their space to increase profits, to increase clarity in their message, to increase their vibration so that they're more high vibe, of course, for their people. So another time to do it is after a divorce or after a relationship ends of some sort. You could do it seasonally, so spring, summer, fall. Today is the summer solstice, which is so exciting. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite day of the year, I think, of all time. You could also do a month anytime you want, that you want kind of that spring clean feeling in your home. Now, a lot of people might be saying at this point, okay, so how do you actually space clear? How do you actually do the deed, if you will? Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can space clear, but first, before I give you the step-by-step, which is actually quite intuitive, I'm going to share with you the tools that you can use if you want to use them. The big part of share with you today is the intention that you bring when you're space clearing, okay? So intention trumps everything else, all right? Now, one of the tools that you can use is just visualization. You could visualize the energy in the room, and you could then say, okay, so I'm going to visualize all the funky energy. So then you visualize it, and then as you're visualizing the funky energy, you also not only visualize the funky energy today, and then you focus specifically on the funky energy, and you can focus it and visualize it neutralizing out of the space. And then what happens is there's going to be a vacuum because you've just taken out some energy. So then you can see the good energy that's there expand. Now, if you don't see or find any good energy there, what you can do is then say, okay, now I'm going to bring in the energy of love or joy or laughter or passion or healthy eating, whatever it is that you want to bring in. And you just visualize that coming in and you see it expanding and really engulfs the entire room. And so, yay! So that's the visualization type tool, if you will. The next tool is smoke, okay? So you can use incense, you can use woods. This is a Palo Santo stick. Oh, so good. This is one that I actually use in my bedroom. That's why it's not super burnt down, because I just use it for just a few seconds. But oh my goodness, so good. So you could use, like, a lot of people, the real perfect incense or smoke that you can use. Oh shoot, I should have brought my other stuff up here. You can use smudge sticks, you can use sweetgrass, all of that's downstairs. I actually have a space clearing kit. I don't know why I didn't bring it up here. And any type of smoke that you want to, you can use. Now, I've got to warn you, if you do use smoke of some sort, obviously something is going to be burning. So have a vessel underneath the thing that's burning so it doesn't catch your house on fire, because that would suck. Space cleared that much to where you burn your house down, okay? So any type of smoke that you enjoy, if you don't enjoy smoke, you do not have to use it, all right? So an alternative to smoke as a smudge stick, wood, or incense is use a spray. This is a spray that I got total BFF, Shakti Wallace. She is the high priestess and frequency carrier of the One Ascension Technique and the Shakti Spiral. This is the All Mother Blessing oil and spray. And this just transforms me to another place and time. But this is one that I've been using recently to do my space clearing. And this is actually the second bottle that I use, because the first one I used up very quickly. But a really good spray that you can use is in this size bottle. I believe this bottle, you can use equal parts lemongrass and sage. That is, by all means, my go-to recipe for a space clearing spray. Lavender, lemongrass, and sage. You can use, like I said, equal parts of each. So if you want to use 5 drops each, 10, 20 drops, 1 drop each, again, depending on how scent. But for a spray, you simply just, shake it if it's oil with water, because oil and water don't mix. Or if you use rubbing alcohol, or if you use, what's the other one? Actual like vodka or something. And then you put the oils into the vessel with the carrier. Again, it's either tap water or vodka or something. And then you shake it, and then you just simply spray it and allow it to just permeate the space. So I space clear myself all the time. I was using my sprays are really good because smoke can be heavy. Smoke can be irritating to the mucus passages, to the sensitive linings of the nose and the esophagus and the bronchial tubes and the lungs. And so if you have somebody in your house that has asthma or is sensitive to smoke, then you can, by all means, use any type of spray that you want. Now, sprays, they come in all shapes and sizes. Please make sure that if you do use a spray, that it is pure essential. A fragrance can do a lot of damage to your lungs and to furniture and whatnot. Like some of them, if they have certain substances in, they can actually eat away at the furniture. That is no bueno. That is not good at all. So, but yes, my go-to for a spray is lavender, lemongrass, and sage, equal parts. This is also my go-to. This is the All Mother Blessing Spray from the Shakti Spiral. If you haven't heard of Shakti Wallace, Google her. She's absolutely amazing, and check out her work. She is in healers too. Anywho, another thing that you can use is a candle. The flame from the candle to burn out and away everything that's in the space. How you use a candle is you can literally set it on a flat surface that will not be tipped over. light the candle and just envision the candle kind of sucking up all of the negative energy. How you can use the woods is actually at the smoke. What you can use then is you can hold it above the vessel, and you could take the feather or a fan, and you can just spread the smoke in the direction where you want it to go, okay? So I know I'm kind of explaining the techniques before I've actually given you the step-by-step, but that way you know what I'm talking about whenever we go through the step-by-step. So another thing that you can do also when you're doing the spray is some people will use the spray and a feather fan at the same time. You have to be careful with that because a lot of the fan, because you could potentially ruin your fan, especially, again, if there's fragrance oils or chemicals, if it's not a pure blend, all right? So another thing that you can use by itself is the feather fan. You can just simply visualize the energy in the room, or even just feel or sense or just know that it's there, and you can just waft away all of the funky energy. So please excuse the terminology, but this just works. So pretend somebody farts in your room, okay? It's gonna stink, okay? If you have a visualizing or a challenging time kind of wrapping your brain around how you can clear the funky energy, literally visualize that somebody just farted in your room or passed gas, and then when you use the feather fan, you're basically dissipating it and you're neutralizing it so that it will no longer affect the people in the room. So that's essentially how a feather fan can be used and utilized when you are space clearing. So please excuse the vernacular and the terminology. That it really truly works. So another thing that you can use is sound, and this is some of my favorite to use as well. So you could use a shaker, and you can simply go from top to bottom, visualizing the shaker neutralizing all of the energy that you don't want, top to bottom. And you can also use a bell. So if you're using headphones, I would, or be loud, okay? So good. So how you use a bell is essentially the same way. Is you can go from top to bottom. Now, all of these tools, you can go top to bottom, you can go bottom to top. I was always, taught to clean top to bottom. So that's how I space clear, top to bottom, or from this out. So allow yourself to really intuitively be led with this process. Other things that you can use for sound is you can use a drum, you can use bells, you can use music of some sort that you absolutely love and you absolutely resonate with. You could use a shaker, you could use a rattle. You could use rocks in a bottle and then you just shake it, You could sing, you could tone, you could chant. So regardless of the tools that you have at hand, use the ones that resonate with you. One of my other go-tos they're all my favorite because they all have their advantages. One of my ultimate favorites is Florida water. This is like literally, I buy this by the case on Amazon. You can get a case of 12 for 36 bucks. So good. One of the things that I do frequently on myself is I place my hand right at the back of my neck and on my crown chakra to clear anything. And then you can also put some more on your hand, smell it in for your physical body. So good. So how I use this in my space clearing is I actually have a small vessel, like any small jar or glass, just like a glass. Don't use plastic if you can help it. But you simply just pour the Florida water into a glass vessel, and you could put salt in it if you want to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, just depending on how I'm, like guided to do. I always put quartz crystals in the bottom of it just because I like quartz crystals, and I always charge them with the energy that I want to have in the room. Fill it up about 7/8 to about 3/4 of the way full, and just let the liquid evaporate. And what this does is this packs the punch. This is kind of like the ninja of space clearing tools. And you can fill up a vessel, put it anywhere in the room where it won't be tipped over or by fire or by any type of spark, because this is very flammable. And what happens is this will neutralize the energy of the room automatically when it's in there. So if you're not quite sure how to space clear and you just want to get everything cleared, simply order this. I'll actually post a link for this in the comments in just a moment. Somebody remind me in just a second. And I'll post the link for the case of 36. Well, you don't have to use it every single day. So, but yeah, and so this is something that just having it in the room will automatically start to neutralize the funky energy. So, oh my gosh, it's so, so good. So now let's talk about the step-by-step technique. So these are tools that you can use. You don't have to use tools. The key to all of this, like I said, is intention. That you're clearing out the funky energy and bringing in the energy that feels good for you. So have an idea of what you want each to feel like. Clearing advanced class, we actually have maps where you map out your home and you say, okay, this is the energy that the room is now, and this is the energy that I want it to be. And so you actually use the maps and all the charts and stuff that I gave you in the advanced space clearing space. But the first step is to get very, very clear about what you want to clear. So I want to clear the binging or the overeating or the undereating. I want to clear the guilt that comes with eating a pan of brownies, whatever. So I want to clear fights. I want to clear anger. I want to clear lethargy or being lazy. I want to clear procrastination. I want to clear loneliness. I want to clear sadness. Anything that you feel or anything that you know you've experienced and you want to clear it, go ahead and just write it down. Okay, what do I want to clear out in my home, in my space, in my car, on the land, whatever it is, this is what I want to clear, and get really, really clear about what you want to clear. So get very specific and is key. And then you can bring in any tools that you have if you want to use tools. And again, you can kind of play around with them just to see which ones you like. And then you allow yourself to just really intuitively move through the room and use the tool and just visualize yourself clearing the energy. And again, you can take the fan and you can just start. Let's just say I want to start in this corner. So then I really allow myself to visualize me clearing the space, and I go along each wall and I clear, 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 clear. And then as soon as I'm done clearing the space, then I clear myself. And then once everything is clear, then you can say, okay, now I'm going to bring in the energy of love and joy and laughter. And you just envision that energy coming in and seeing it fill the room. Now, if you can't see, if you can't visualize, just allow yourself to just know that with your intention, it's going to work. All right. Some people go clockwise. Some people go counterclockwise. Some people have a door open or a window open. Some people have them all open. Some people have them all shut. Again, do what feels natural for you. There is no wrong way. That's the one thing here. The only thing that you have to do with space clearing is to just say, this is what I want the room to feel like, and have that intention, and it's going to work. All right. Tools are essentially, yes, they're fun, but they're not necessary. Tools are essentially an anchor for your ego, because ego is saying, oh, this isn't going to work. What are you talking about? Space clearing? That's a bunch of bullshit. No, ego is a bunch of bullshit. Space clearing is not. And so when you use a bell or a spray or a tangible physical body and your ego can comprehend, that will give ego a reason to believe, oh, okay, well, she's waving a feather, so I'm getting rid of, and the energy that's funky is now neutralizing, okay? So that will help your ego comprehend that what you're doing is actually working. But, you know, you don't really need any of the tools. I love tools because they aid in my work, and it just makes it easier. Plus, I love working with tools. But yes, that I actually do tools, okay? So, okay, so like I said, this is just a taste of the space clearing. I have a whole 2-part workshop in the inner circle for all of you, which is my institute. And I wanted to share with you something really, really exciting. So I want to give you access to the full 2-hour, well, it's actually more than 2 hours. It's a 2-part basic and advanced workshop, and I want to give you access to it for $1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post an offer on the page. So you should see an offer on the page. So this is not only going to give you access to the space clearing basic and advanced class with handouts and everything. It's really amazing. But it's also going to give you access to over 150 hours worth of content and classes just like this, but even better because they're longer, with so much more value and so much more content and so much more cool stuff in it. So some of the classes that you're going to have access to is the Intuition 101 class, the Meditation 101 class, the Full You course, which is a 2-part course, basic and advanced, the Freedom from Fear workshop, the Balance versus Harmony, Own Your Power, Own Your Energy, Stop Self-Sabotaging class. That's so good. Judgment versus Comparison, Getting Past It, Color Therapy, Spirit Guides, Chakras, Archangels, How to Raise Your Personal Vibes, Journey Through Journaling. That's a real Auric cord removal for personal use. Never cut cords, people. A class. How to get anything you want in the 4-step process. New story, new you. Change your life to get the life that you want. Time management for busy people. You also get the Fearlessly Inspired 12-week program. That program, my friends, is absolutely epic. Changed so many people's lives. It's so testimonials for that program. Another program that you get full access to is my Year and a Day 53-week course, which is epic. If you're earth-based, you're going to love it. You're so going to love it. You also get access to all my meditation albums, our group readings, which actually are tomorrow. We have a spiritual empowerment group gallery reading, which is free readings for all the members. And like I said, you get access to all of this for $1. You also get access to our office hours call with Q&A month. So all of this for $1. And you know, this is a 15-day trial. So I really want you to get in there, dig, listen to the classes, watch the classes, experience the meditations, really allow yourself to just experience this institute and experience everything at your fingertips. Because this is one of the things that you love my videos, you love these free stuff. Wait until you experience the paid content. And I'm giving you access to this for 15 days for $1. So click the link. Well, actually, before I click the link, let me ask you, would you love to have access to a whole body of your fingertips? I'm sure you will, right? If you do, okay, type yes if you do in the chat box. If you want access to the full 2-part program, I was going to say course, but it's that full 2-part program. How many of you would love full access to it? Oh my gosh, it's absolutely amazing. How would you love to have access to all my meditations? Would you love to have access to the free readings every single month? Yes, I've got people that are raising their hand. Yes. So if no strings attached, no strings attached. For 15 days, $1. That's it. Get in there, dig into it, experience it. Tammy's like, yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. So get in there, try it out for 15 days for $1. You have nothing to lose. Then if you love it and you want to stay, because I'm constantly adding new stuff, if you love it and you want to stay, you can stay for $24.95 a month, or you can cancel. Now, I've had a lot of people actually upgrade to the level as to almost 900 hours of courses and programs, and it's just ridiculous. Tina says, yes. Tammy says, joined yesterday and loving it. Will definitely stay. Absolutely, Tammy. So this is something that if you want to just try it out, click the link, join for $1, and oh my gosh, have so much fun. So what questions do you have for me about space clearing? We're going to stay on for 5 more minutes, and I'm going to answer any questions that you might have about space. And then this is a lunch and learn, so this is your lunch break. And it's only meant to be about 30 minutes or so. So let me know if you have any questions whatsoever about the space clearing or about anything that you've heard today. Or if you have questions also about the Institute, I'd be more than happy to answer any of them for you. Let me see. I've Googled I'm earth-based. Yay! Yes, earth-based spiritualism is when, like, literally outside is your church. Outside is my church. I celebrate the earth, what would you call it? Well, the planetary holidays. That's why, today is a holiday for me. It's summer solstice. Tammy says, what do you mean by a monthly reading? So I'm also a psychic. I don't read anybody without their permission. And so one of the things that I do as a gift, kind of as the bonus, if you will, to all the members of the Institute is we do a free group reading for all members of the Institute. And it's a spiritual empowery reading. So Tammy, you joined yesterday. So what you do is you log in and then you click all access past content, and then you'll see live member calls. Click on the live member calls and then click on the group reading icon, and that will give you the dates and times of the calls. It's once a month. Usually it's the last Thursday of every month at 9 a.m. Central Time from 9 to 10. The one this month is the 22nd because I'm going to be on vacation next week. And then we have one in July. We have, every single month. Tammy says, years and happy solstice. Happy solstice to you too, Tammy. So that's what I mean by a monthly reading. So what you do is you can either raise your hand and talk to me, or you can type your question in, and I answer all the questions that the members post with my cards, or just straight psychic reading. Sometimes I don't use the cards at all. But yeah, so if you want a reading from me, go ahead and pop into that call, and I'd be more than happy to have you on there. Woohoo! Let me see. So what questions do you have for me whatsoever about this class and or the Institute? Michelle says, working on decluttering my house, and I really want to do some space clearing because the energy gets so muggy. Would you space clear first, after I'm done, or during? I feel stuck. Michelle, this is such a great question. I would do it all 3 times, okay? When people started my business in 97, what I started off doing, I was a professional home organizer. And what I did was I would clear people's homes. I would declutter and space clear at the same time. And then, oh my gosh, all their stuff would come up and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm just letting this out. And so I really ended up kind of coaching them as well. But then another thing is that sometimes people just wanted me to space clear. So I go in and I would space clear, and then invariably they would end up decluttering their house on their own. Really needing to being is because when you actually space clear, what you're doing is you're clearing the old energies and bringing in new energies. And so since every single thing has an energy imprint in it, when we clear old energies, we might have something in our space that we're like, I really don't resonate with this anymore. Now, I actually go quite in depth about this in the main class that's in the Institute. So, yeah, but anyway, yeah, so space clearing before is absolutely going to help you declutter which is really, so if you want to just save time, what you can do is you can do it before and after. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed during, I would absolutely recommend space clearing during the process as well. One of the other things that you could do is you could wear rubber gloves when you're doing it. It kind of acts as a little bit of a physical barrier. Even though nothing is solid for your mind, it will act as a physical barrier to help you not feel so emotionally attached to the things that you are decluttering. Okay, Michelle? I hope that helps you. Tina says, how does one take and leave? All the chaos breaks loose. To stay peaceful, I seem to just hear incense and pick up crazy chaos while I'm out and about. Hope the question made sense. Not a question, but remember to get all closets and under the bed especially. Yes, Tammy, absolutely. Oh, I thought that was from the same person. Okay, so Tina, I have a free gift on my website. FloraSage.com/free-gift, or you can just click on free gift when you go to FloraSage.com. So the free gift actually says 4 steps to make better decisions. What I'm teaching you is how to clear your own personal energy. One of the things that I would recommend is that you go onto my website and you download the free gift and read through the pamphlet, read through the PDF that I share with you, and that's going to give you a 4-step process to clear your physical energy, your actual physical space, your physical body, and that will help you get rid of everybody else's funk before you even come into your house. Well, in your house, you're just going to help your house as well as yourself as well. So I hope that helps you. I recommend that people clear their own personal energy when they wake up, before they go to bed, and any time in between that they have come in contact with other people, simply because nothing is solid. We are constantly exchanging energy with each other. After this webcast, I love you all, but your energy is your energy, so I'm going to be clearing it from my space. So that will help you. Just remember to everything, underneath stuff, behind stuff. I'm always opening doors and drawers and going behind everything. Yeah, so absolutely get everywhere when you're clearing. Michelle says, fantastic tips. Thank you, Flora and Tammy, for your tip too. Absolutely. Woohoo! All right. So that is all the time that we have for today. Remember, if you want full access to this 2-part workshop, click the link. Join the Institute for $1, 15 trial. Absolutely going to love it. All right, everyone. I'm really excited to see you inside the Institute. Mwah! See you soon. Bye.